I had somebody who DM'd me and asked me if I was afraid of a draft, and my only response to that is no, I'm not afraid of a draft literally at all. The United States, I think, actually did learn one lesson from Vietnam, which is that a draft is a terrible idea. During Vietnam, we had problems with fragging. Like,
So, by the way, just for this video, I searched up what fragging meant. Fragging is when uh or when everyone's morale is down, so then nobody wants to listen to the commanders or generals, and then while they're sleeping, then they throw a grenade like into their tent, and then you know what happens when a grenade hits you directly when you're sleeping, and yeah, that's crazy, right? That would suck to be a general. And also thinking about that, I think we gotta switch up the lingo because me, I'm a high level gamer, you know what I'm saying? Or like I used to be. So when I heard fragging, I thought fragging was like you're going crazy, you know what I mean? You're like you're catching everybody, you know what I mean? But in reality, it means like you're team killing. We gotta switch it to TK or team kill or something like that, you know what I mean? Something more differential because we need a lingo update, you know what I mean? New war. So yeah.
bad problems. We had problems with people getting hooked on opiates over in Vietnam because they couldn't cope with the stress of it. Like, there's no way. There's no way that the United States government would do it again. I mean, let alone the fact that the government knows so much more about people now. We have so much more data we've collected about people. We know about what the tendencies of certain kinds of people are. They probably can predict who, if given a weapon and access to bodies, would frag their platoon. And they know that the easiest way to force that to happen is to draft them into combat where they don't want to be. So, no, I'm not afraid of a draft. I'm afraid of war, but I'm not afraid of a draft. No, no, not at all. But I mean, fair question.
Yeah, what's it called? I never really understood like draft because it's like you're taking un untrained, uneducated people from their homes to force them into a war where it's just rich people. But those people like obviously there's back then there was also like nationalism and like patriotism. So it's like, you want to fight for your country. If you don't go, then you're looked at like a lame ass dude. But like still you're obviously not going to perform as well as somebody who wants to join, wants to fight for their country, wants to do all that. You know what I mean? So it's like having a draft like automatically that lowers. I feel like that lowers the average like star rating of each of your soldiers, if that makes sense. So okay, that's the first video. We got two videos today. Let's get into this next one. Let me open this up for you guys.
I saw a video
Same
the other day.
topic. Okay, let's get into it. Let me. Oops.
I saw a video the other day explaining how if we did get into a war now, the draft wouldn't work. And I was thinking about it. Yeah, it probably won't. Because let's be serious right now. Most of us are not going to war. Most of us do not even want war. Like, what are they going to do? Put all of us in jail? Half of us in jail? They're just going to unalive all of us? Like, what are they really going to do? If half of the United States comes together and is like, yeah, we're not going to go to war. There's not enough room.
Yeah, like not gonna lie. Sorry for pausing so much, by the way. But I feel like our generation. I mean, me as like me. I'm 17. Man, I don't want to go to war. I don't want to do that, bro. Like what? Like, and then but I'm on the younger end of Gen Z, so then it's like it's different for older Gen Z. You know what I mean? But like still, it's like nobody. Obviously, the war and all these conflicts are a big issue, but lots of people like they're in a situation where you don't really get the opportunity to worry about other things going on. You gotta worry about, am I picking do I have enough hours next week? Can I get rent? Can I get groceries? Can I get gas? You know what I mean? A lot of individualistic like problems that are stunting a lot of my generation, I feel like. So then no one's gonna care, you know what I mean? Or like they're not gonna care enough. They're gonna care about what they need to do for themselves to survive in this horrible economy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
In the prisons to put us in. They're just gonna like chain us down to our house. Like, I'm confused. What are they really going to do? Because there is no need for a war. There's no time for war. There's no urgency for war. We live in a state of comfort, and that's a good thing. We shouldn't be, shamed for living in a state of comfort. I'm comfortable in my house. I'm comfortable with my life. That isn't something you should be ashamed of. And trying to push.
Dead ass, like us or like living in a state of comfort, it's looked down upon now, or like having an easier life is looked down upon, right? But like the generation before us, their intentions should have been to help their kids have an easier life. You know what I mean? So then it's like shunning them for having an easier or like more comfortable life than you did. That just means like you did a good job to help them get a good life. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean they're inherently bad or lazy. You're not gonna do yada yada yada. You know what I mean? So I don't think it makes sense to be shunned for seeking comfort in your life.
To draft on us isn't going to really work because we understand that we have the ability to be in comfort. We don't need to put ourselves in a situation of war. And again, that brings us back to the point. What will the government do if half of us say we don't want to go to war? I feel like at that point they just can't do anything. They just be like, all right,
Exactly, bro. It's like it's all about numbers. It's like unions back in the day, you know what I mean? They would treat like workers hella bad. So then they form unions, so many workers to the point where you can't ignore it anymore, you know what I mean? That's so many workers that they have a stronger voice and power because they're influential about how things work, you know what I mean? If the entire US didn't go to the military, then what army do they have to fight, you know what I mean? That is very significant, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to go. I just send the ones who do want to go. Because in all honesty, if you do really want to go to war, go ahead. But just know you're fighting a pointless battle and you're losing your life. But what do y'all think?
Exactly. It's it's a pointless battle unless you're like the politicians, bro. Like, cause you still gotta come back home. You gotta work. Like, okay, like you're deployed. You know what I mean? Then oh, let me close the window. So you get deployed, and then you get PTSD, shell shock, everything. Like, yeah, you get disease and stuff because it's unsanitary, right? So horrible conditions. Probably lose a limb if you don't lose your life already, you know what I'm saying? There's millions of casualties more. So if you survive somehow, you're gonna come back, you're gonna have back pain, everything pain, maybe even missing a limb, yada yada yada, right? Still gotta go back to work, still gotta do this, still gotta do that. You're not treated any better. Maybe you get like a veterans discount at Chipotle. Side rant, bro, I went to Chipotle with my friend. He's in the military programs and his dad was a military officer, and they said that there was no military like discount, but there is a military discount because they gave it to him the other day too. Like it makes no sense, but like that just shows how like military doesn't even get cared about like that either. You know what I mean? Like like you're going out risking your life fighting for your country. If you come back, you don't you get treated the same or even worse because like lots of veterans end up homeless. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just my opinion on it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace out.